The verse says, or the song says, there is none so blind as he who will not see. When they sing, everything is beautiful in its own way. Unfortunately, too often in our world and in our lives, we want to look for the bad. We want to look for explanations for anything that is bad. Right now, we're in the COVID-19 pandemic, and people are panicking. So, of course, the question asked when the man born blind is seen for the first time, the question that's asked is, who sinned, this man or his parents? Now, I want to ask, how in the world does a baby sin? How can a baby sin in the womb? It can't. Nor can you blame everybody for things that go wrong. Things go wrong in this world, and it's not a matter of blaming people for sin. It just is. So Jesus' response is perfect. It's not a matter of sin. It's a matter of what can be done with what goes wrong in this world. We've seen in this pandemic good come of bad. We've also seen a lot of bad come from what's happening. We see people panicked. We see people running. And people blaming others. As usual, we see our religious people, our religious leaders coming out with, well, this country was so full of sinners, and this world was so full of sinners, this wouldn't be happening. And if somebody dies from it, they must be bigger sinners than anyone else. It's not, folks. It's not that issue at all. Yes, bad things happen. But God doesn't cause those bad things to happen. In fact, God causes good to come from bad if we will but trust. I think sometimes we get caught up in who did it. And then something good happens. In this case, the man who was born blind receives his sight. Dirt really literally applied to his eyes remakes him, reshapes him. And he is no longer blind, but seeing. But suddenly, all of these people who have seen him all these years can't really see him. Well, we don't know if that's him or not. Are you sure that? No, he couldn't see like that all of a sudden. No, it's just somebody who looks like him. And then, of course, the religious leaders who, because they're so firmly entrenched in their belief, can't accept that this man could be healed. They form on the one topic, the one part, their legalism of this is the Sabbath day, and he, obviously, Jesus, couldn't be of God because he wouldn't work on the Sabbath day if he were truly of God. If he were truly of God. How often do we become so entrenched in the way things must be, in our own narrow view of the world, in our own blind spots, that we can't see the God of healing, that we can't see God at work, that we can't see what is truly God's love shining forth into our dark world. Jesus is the light. Jesus is the love. Jesus is God's compassion and God's way of being in the world. The family was even afraid to defend their son. The parents didn't want to be thrown out of the temple. They didn't want to be, in words of the past, excommunicated. They didn't want that. And so their attitude was, we don't know, he's a grown man, ask him. Ask him what happened to him. Ask him how he sees. And the son stood up and talked back to the leaders and said, this is how it happened. Somebody who's good can't do bad things. If he's from God, if he were evil, he couldn't do the work of God. And so they became furious with him. Who dared he speak back to them? They were the leaders. They knew the Bible. They knew the Torah. They knew Moses. But in their own refusal to see the Christ, in their own refusal to believe in the healing, in their own refusal to re-examine their way of looking at the world, they show their own true blindness. Are we blind? Are we able to admit that sometimes we're wrong? Are we able to admit that sometimes the world is a different place than we would like for it to be? Are we able to look at the fact and say, bad things happen to everyone, but it doesn't mean that God hates us. It doesn't mean that God is judging us. It doesn't mean that at all. That just perhaps in these times when bad things are happening, it is our chance to reach out to God and receive a different view and to reach out to one another to make a difference.